This will be update. I'm not sure what number, but we are about 2 to 3 weeks away from moving in. And so far, we have a little bit more progress. I feel like things are it's building momentum very slowly, but we definitely had to have like a pause because the color of the wall is supposed to be white. And if you take a look at it carefully, this is not white. The color in here is the light in here is not very bright. So a couple updates. So we had the wall painted. He was doing a first coat to then do a second coat and then realized that the paint is slightly different. So this is the white. This is the off-white it's supposed to be. And then this is the second color. So they are actually both off-white. But for some reason, this company is white. Off-white is like a cream. And this other company is really closer to the white that I wanted. So we decided to pause the painting project. And then we are going to buy more paint, buy more of the off-white paint, the one that I really want, and then have it repainted again so that everything can be in sync. The goal is to have everything painted in off-white for now until I decide that I want to do a different color. So the living room should look somewhat like this, more of a white. I believe that having the white space will give me more variety, as well as it also camouflages these poles which should have been inside but they're outside for now. So this is basically just a quick update of where we are right now. We also had the electrical company come in to do the testing, so that was done. And I'm not sure if we are currently connected, but they came in twice. So this was for sure opened, and now they came in and we had to ask them to fix it. So the bulb is now covered and everything is not even sure what's going on. So we are currently at the stage where we are almost there. These cupboards and storage cabinets, pantry, they are still waiting to be fixed, and we are still waiting for this job to be completed. So that is the update on this still. But for now, everything is moving on nicely except the painting, which we just have to make some slight changes, and that will be done hopefully this week. Once we have the paints, then everything should be completed and then they'll be fully painted. This is the area where we're going to have the stove place installed in. And the idea of this space, having it so wide, was actually to put in the cylinder, on this side and then the stove here, because we're not doing electrical stove. We're doing the gas stove, and we would need a space. However, I feel like that is why it's so important. That's why the Bible says to write the vision and make it plain, so that whoever needs to run with it will then be able to run with the vision. But because a vision was not fully established for the design of here, then it really just came out of the mind of the person who was doing the job. I believe in getting someone who can do a job that is going to be flawless, like the guy who was doing the painting. Chef's kiss, like he is doing an amazing job. He is the one who also did, I call the fine tuning of the walls, and they are just done amazingly. I really appreciate his work. However, the guy who did these counters here, as you can see, like there is some imperfections in it. Not that I'm expecting things to be perfect, but I'm expecting things to be done with excellence. So we definitely had that setback, and some of the job is not done to my standard, but I'm going to see how I can get all of that fixed and rectified before we move in. That will be there about close to the month of December 2025. And there we're going to have installed the stove. Now, my ideal installation is to ensure that the stove fits in flush. What I don't like is there to be a space between the stove and then there's a little gap here. Like, why? No. So we're going to ensure that that does not happen. So the guy who's doing the painting, he's the one who also did this work, which came out really good. My dad was like really amazed because he was like, he doesn't really do that type of job, but he was able to do that for us. And then so we now have to cover this up and then add an additional shelf, which remind me that that I have to purchase an additional tile for this to cover it up so that we'll have more space. And the cylinder is then gonna go inside of here. So we're gonna have a cylinder here and then just a little bit of cupboard space. And then the cupboards will be installed here in this corner here. And we're gonna have an open shelf concept right here. So everything will come in very nicely. It's just a matter of time and patience. I'm also gonna put in open shelves here because this is where we're gonna have our computer set up right here. This space, like I said, will be our living room. So it's really gonna be a cozy space, but it's going to be our home for now until we move up. Not up, but move up to higher things.